So, you want to visit Catachan, do you? Using his once-in-a-lifetime vacation from service, Guardsman Fred has decided to visit one of the most inhospitable worlds in the entire Imperium of Man. It's more common than you might think. Catachan is an ideal vacation spot for big game hunters, botanists with an interest in aggressive plant life, and any man looking for a woman with biceps like a backed-up garden hose. It's truly the premier travel destination of the 41st millennium, but not for the ill-prepared. So, let's follow Guardsman Fred as he is welcomed to the jungle by the flora and the fauna. Before he gets the opportunity to be devoured by the Catachan animal life, Guardsman Fred will have to be on the lookout for the plants eager to kill him in numerous painful ways. First, there is the bloodleaf. Yes, the bloodleaf. Not actually a leaf, but a full-grown tree. Not so conspicuous on a jungle world. However, where the bloodleaf differentiates itself is in violence. For you see, when any animal or person moves beneath its branches, tendrils snake down from the bloodleaf and plunge into the victim's spine and brain, taking over their entire body. What does it do next? It doesn't really matter, does it? That's nightmarish all on its own. Be on the lookout for those tendrils, Guardsman Fred. Next, there is the spiker. Yes, the spiker. A deadly plant which kills its victims by shooting out, you'll never guess, highly poisonous spikes. But stick with me, my story gets worse. For you see, once the spiker has killed its victim, a virus within the spikes will change the victim's very DNA, changing them into yet another spiker plant. Don't let them make a vegetable out of you, Guardsman Fred. Third on the list is the Venus mantrap. Yes, the Venus mantrap. You might be able to understand it from the name alone. It's a plant with huge, scary jaws that eat you. But unlike the flytrap of Holy Terra, this one can move around on its articulating vines. That's correct. On Catachan, the salad bar will go to you. Watch out for the legally distinct piranha plants while on tour of Catachan, Guardsman Fred. You don't want to be lunch. And while you're at it, be on the lookout for the spore clouds released by the spore tree. Yes, the spore tree. And yes, yet another type of deadly tree on this jungle planet. Except this one is all about suffocating you on its impossibly thick cloud of spores. It never meant to kill you, and it's sorry, although it will capitalize on the fertile ground left behind by your decomposing corpse. In any event, you're still dead, Guardsman Fred, unless you can foresee the spore tree. While we're on the topic of choking to death, I can cover the strangle plant. Yes, the strangle plant. Hiding in the shade, this flower-type plant waits for disturbances in the air caused by the passing of animals or people. Whereupon, it lashes out with its adhesive stamen to pull its victims and kill them by, well, it's in the name, isn't it? Worst of all, it has no reason to do this, not for food or sustenance, it's just kind of a psychopath. Don't stop to smell the roses, Guardsman Fred, or they might just smell you back. Then there is the Kanak floater. Yes, the Kanak floater. An utterly useless tumbleweed-type plant that just floats around from place to place, ruining everyone's day. Because you see, when this floating, unmoored plant finds its way to anything, it will immediately explode, sending out its seed pods like steel shrapnel. You heard right. The world of Catachan is so inventive that it even produces its own anti-personnel mines. Take notes, Guardsman Fred, just as soon as you take cover. After that, there is the Myral Catcher. Yes, the Myral Catcher. A plant which lays on the floor of the jungle like the lazy bastard that it is, waiting for food to come to it. But once the food arrives, its massive tentacles leap out from the ground, striking its victims with a paralyzing toxin. allowing the myral catcher to feast at its leisure. Don't allow the jungle's hentai to get the better of you, Guardsman Fred. Coming to the end of our list, we have the sucker tree. Yes, the sucker tree. One more tree to add to the list, and this one hates you most of all. After it senses you, it will twist, it will turn, it will plunge its massive suckers into your body to suck out all of your precious juices. And when it has drained you like a fruit smoothie, it will toss away the empty styrofoam cup that was your body, ensuring that its area of the jungle will remain litter-free and unsuspicious for other potential fruit smoothies that may wander into its domain. Make sure not to miss the trees for the jungle, Guardsman Fred. At last, there is the stinging cactus. Yes, the stinging Wait, what the hell? How does a cactus survive on a jungle world? Cacti are well known to store water for conservation in arid climates. But a jungle world is about as humid as it can get. The cacti would drown almost instantly. That makes no sense, and so we're moving on. But if our friend, Guardsman Fred, has been able to keep his wits about him to avoid an excruciatingly slow death by suffocation, poison, acid, or worse, he's halfway to a safe and happy stay on the Death World. Oh, but don't get too excited there, Sonny Jim. Most of the flora was quite passive in trying to kill you. The fauna will be much more assertive. At the top of the list, there is the infamous Catachan Devil. Yes, the Catachan Devil, not to be confused with the Guard Regiment of the same name, because this one is actually dangerous. Appearing as the demon love child of a millipede and a scorpion, but the size of a locomotive, the Catachan Devil has been theorized was once a member of the Tyrannid species before it defected to enjoy the Catachan scenery. Whatever its origin, it has risen to become the apex predator on the planet. But don't worry, Guardsman Fred, you won't need to keep an eye out, they're very hard to miss. Second on our list is the shambling mamorphs. Yes, the shambling mamorphs. These stone-like humanoid forms, though lacking the head, are native to Catachan's volcanic regions. Where exactly on this entirely jungle world there are volcanic lands, no one is entirely sure. But if you happen to stumble upon them, Guardsman Fred, make sure to get a pict with the shambling mamorphs. Third on our list is something much more understandable with the snake analogs. Yes, the snake analogs. Yes, there are so many snakes on Catachan they have to be grouped together. Such as, but not limited to, the flying swamp mamba, the coiling death cobra, and the Catachan black viper. All are vicious. All are poisonous. All would like to kill you just to watch you die. So you make sure to kill them first, Guardsman Fred. From reptiles to amphibians as we reach towards the great barking toads. Yes, the great barking toads. But do not actually reach for them in reality. For you see, the great barking toads are antisocial by genetic mandate. Rather than deal with anyone, they will simply explode, showering the area in toxic gas. Gas which is so potent that even power armor cannot deal with it. However, I am sure that your Militarum issue flak armor will be more than sufficient, Guardsman Fred. Going even smaller, moving into the insects, we have the heretic ants. Yes, the heretic ants. So named because they will seek out to bite the bottom of a person's foot. The soles, if you will. One of these bites is enough to put a person in the hospital for a month. 2 bites will give them 1 Terran day to find aid. 3 bites will kill them on the spot. And 4 bites will cause them to immediately blip out of existence. Be on the lookout for the foot fetish ants, Guardsman Fred. And the creepy crawly nightmare continues with the vein worms. Yes, the vein worms. Worms which have a numbing bite, allowing them to burrow into a victim's bloodstream to lay eggs. Eggs which hatch and eat through the hosts. You know what? We're moving on. all in favor of moving on? It's unanimous. Moral of the story, Guardsman Fred, kill any worm you see. Let's get back to something more understandable in the Drake Bat. Yes, the Drake Bat. Though they aren't actually bats, but huge winged pseudo-reptiles that lurk in the jungle canopy until they spot a suitable prey, whereupon they will descend from on high and feast. But it will have to get in line, as Guardsman Fred is already on the lookout for 10 or 12 others looking to make him their afternoon snack. And we still have one more to go. We've saved the best for last in the Catachan Face Eater. Oh God, Emperor, help us! It's the Catachan Face Eater. This horrible carnivore, somewhere between a plant and animal, is very similar in appearance to a regular towel. A comparison only enhanced by its fondness for warm, damp places, such as a bathroom. But should a victim get too close to the Face Eater, it will leap at them and kill them through suffocation and general application of its digestive enzymes. And as if that weren't bad enough, when it is through, the Face Eater will lay eggs in the victim's corpse. So, make sure to burn every towel you see, Guardsman Fred. Better safe than subjected to all that horrible bullshit. And that is all you need to know about the native wildlife of Catachan. If you can remember everything I've just listed off, Imperium scholars have calculated that you will more than double your odds of survival, bringing them up to a startling 6% chance of survival, and better still, a 2.43% chance of maintaining all of your limbs. Tune in next time for our exciting educational piece, What Did This Guardsman Do Wrong? A Commissar video quiz. But until then, you're welcome. Also, the climate is at the very limit of what the human body can tolerate. Disease is a constant battle, and why in the God Emperor's name did we ever colonize this place?